Yeah, we
Now?
get to start over. All right, we are live, officially live. Here we go. All right. Thank you all for joining us. We're a little bit behind schedule. Of course, anything involving streaming is a pain in the ass, but I figured it out for the second time. Now, as you can see, my brother's taking center stage. I'm in the little square in the corner. Of course, he is the guest on today's show, so of course he deserves all. There we go. We are on. So he deserves all the limelight today. My name is Anna Romero. If you are not familiar with me, I am the voice and the creator behind the Goddess Guidance page. It is a spiritual page where we can all we can connect, talk about things that we like, things that we don't like, things that we share, things that we have questions about in the spiritual community. I am a curandera through my lineage, from my ancestors. It runs through my mom's side of the family. I'm sure it runs through my dad's as well. I just have to do my research. I also am an intuitive reader. I have several dones or gifts or abilities that I was born with that I put into practice. I'm currently, like I said, I do intuitive reading. So that's where my strength is. That's where my focus is. That is where the focus of my practice is. Please feel free to visit my website, and I will put that in here. Please visit my website, which is annamromero.com. That's Anna with two N's. I'm sorry, two N's. Oh, I can't even spell my own name. And on my website, you will be able to read my blog. You will be able to, my blog / journal. You will be able to see the upcoming events. You will also be able to see some feedback that I've gotten from people that have already worked with me. What else is on there? You can book services through the page. And also there's something else on there that I can't remember right now. Oh, you can also get in touch with me through my page, if not through my social media platforms, okay? If you are currently watching us live, please let me know in the chat so I can see you, so we can see what's up and we can all connect and talk. As I mentioned, we are here with my little brother, the little brother of the family, Marcos Romero. He's going to introduce himself to us, but the main reason for our gathering today is to discuss his paranormal experiences. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what. You guys have heard all mine and another one of my brother's, my other little brother's experiences, but his definitely are on the opposite end of the spectrum. So be prepared. It is graphic. There is a lot of cussing, so this is definitely not for children unless you don't censor your children, and that's up to you. So here we go. So, Marcos, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
31, Marcos. Like Mr. said, I'm the baby of the family. Just your average Joe. I got pretty medium to going to large family. I got 5 kids, Emelina, Damien, Athena, Rosie, and Elena, with my wife for 13, 14 years-ish. Not good with dates, so I'm probably going to get whooping for that one. Got a good career. Truck driver going on 12 years, crane operator going on 2 to 3 years. Broke out in the patch. Made a pretty good career out of that. Just your average Joe, just nothing too crazy.
Okay, well, you're not your average Joe. We all are average to some extent, but it's our individual experiences that make us very unique, and I know for a fact that you are very unique. So, hold on, everybody's asking where we're at.
Yeah, I can't see what you're seeing on your side, but I got messages coming up on my phone, so I had to almost not kind of like do that to kind of look at you. I had to remember.
Okay, well, let me tag you on my post so that they can also see it too, okay? If I tag you on my Facebook, all your friends can come over and see it.
Good deal.
Who's messaging you? Your homies, your friends, your peoples? Okay.
It was you.
You are officially on, I tagged you on my Facebook post.
There you are. Can you tell Petito to stop with the messages?
I know. I'm telling him where it's at.
I keep seeing bars just go across the screen.
Oh, I forgot it's on your phone.
Yeah.
Okay. You have? Okay. Oh, technology, dude, I swear. All right, so Marcos, you lived here at the house because this is where all the paranormal experiences have started, correct? Here at mom's house, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, so you lived here. How old were you when you moved out? So how much of your life did you spend here?
The majority of, not the majority.
How old were you when you moved out?
Ooh, good question. 18 or 19? 18 or 19. I say this with the face that I give you is because a lot of what we're going to talk about today, I did a really, really good job of kind of burying it and
Mm-hmm.
not trying to remember anything. So when you ask me
Not
things
trying
like
to what,
that,
did you say?
to what?
You said not trying to what?
To remember,
Oh,
I did a really good
your
job.
brother said you need to don't do your spitting on TV.
Well, I can't do that. It's just dip.
Oh, because you
It's just
can't
what
smell. I thought you were gonna sit outside.
I had everything set up outside, and then when I stepped outside, I was like, no, no, not gonna do that.
Oh yeah, because it's 304,000 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least turn your face on the camera, at least, so people don't want to see the spitters.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So as you were
I,
saying that you were trying to do what?
well, I was saying that a lot of the information that I give you, if you hear me say I think, or if I can remember clearly, it's because I did a really good job of suppressing a lot of it and trying not to remember a lot of it. Number one, clearly it scares the living crap out of me. Uh, a lot. It has a pretty good effect on me. From what I remember, even moving forward, I noticed linking it together. If I remember a lot of it, or if I start talking about a lot of it, stuff will start happening again. So, like I said, I'll do a really good job of suppressing a lot of it.
That's what I was talking to my mom about. What we were talking about was that, because I guess it started pretty much at the 4th of July, where you actually started to share some of the experiences. But even then, you kind of kept a little bit of a lid on it because you yourself said that once you start opening up the floodgates, so to speak, it pretty much opens up the door for all your experiences to be happening again. So I did tell her that you were kind of apprehensive about it. And I think you're even low key scared because, I guess from experience, you know what's going to happen. But that's a process that you and I will go through in terms of like spiritually protecting you and whatnot. And I've done so beforehand also to help you with all of it, excuse me, so that
Yeah.
you're not bombarded with so much. Okay. So let's start from share with us your earliest paranormal experience here at the house that you can remember.
It was about 3 to 5 years old.
Really? That young?
I didn't. Yes, yes. And when I say that, I wasn't. For instance, you have a really outstanding gift as far as able to uh, see, communicate, get in touch,
Oh no, I
heal,
don't want to touch. No, I don't want to
direct,
touch.
kind of guide them down a better path to where they could understand and deal with these things. So 3 to 5 years old, I knew that our house was a normal house. The hallway and the rooms just scared the crap out of me to no belief. Not necessarily just the hallway, because if you go into your house, my mom's house, if you go to the front door, you'll directly see the hallway, and then there it disperses out into the rooms. 3 to 5 years old, I clearly remember not wanting to travel down the hallway or let alone into the rooms. Oddly enough, though, when I was in my mom's room, which, if the family recalls, was there until I was like 14, kind of a mama's boy, I was very
Well,
happy.
and
I was.
time out. In all fairness, you slept with my mom for a long time for good reason, though.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna unfold. I guess you
Yeah,
saying it like that, you're like, whoa, what?
yeah, with good reason.
Yeah. So in my mom's room, I felt safe, secure, loved, just really peaceful in my mom's room. Once I exited the bathroom, my old room, which would be my niece's room, your current room, just that general vicinity, it struck fear in me. So yeah, as early as 3 to 5 years old.
So at that early of an age, you were feeling something already, or had you yet experienced anything, or like the feeling was barely starting to unfold?
Unfolding, yes. Visually seeing something, no. At that time, I haven't seen anything at that time, but I could feel it. I could feel it here, not here in my chest or in the pit of my stomach, but my body would tense up and I would get to this day, it still happens. I would get tics or have, I guess that would link up to like nervous little twitches and tics and things like that, which later on throughout the story, you'll see how it progressively gets worse as the activity's starting to get a little bit higher, a little bit more intense. But it wasn't like the pit of my stomach. It was literally a physical feeling on my back and over my body that it would just scare the living crap out of me.
So did you feel like your body was just acknowledging the fact that there was a presence, or did you feel like, you know how some people say, you know, I could feel that something was watching at me, or I got the sensation that something was behind me? Would you describe it as something specific as that, or literally just your body acknowledging that there's some sort of presence or some sort of happenings in the area that you, or the area that you're referencing?
Because I don't have the understanding like I do now. Obviously, I was a child. I think it's my body's way of saying there's something there that you're not gonna like.
Mm.
Stay away. You know, just hold back. Here's okay. If mom were to walk you through, if I had an adult present with me, or obviously one of my older siblings, I'd be okay. But alone, I would never charter in there as much as possible. And in fact, I'm not sure if you guys recall, I used to run to the restroom.
Yes, a lot of us did.
Hmm. Yeah. So it was my body telling me, don't go there. It's just safe. That's not.
So your body
That's
was
my
already
best
giving you
understanding.
warning signals about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So, real quick before we move, progress into the experiences, if you are here with us and you're live watching us, please say hello. Let us know that you're here. Also, if you have any questions at any point, please ask them. My brother can't see them, but I can see the questions on the chat. So just ask us any questions that you would like. Don't be rude, and I'll just pass it. We'll just read it out loud so we can answer. Okay. All right. So I'll let you take the stage and take it from there, as tell us the stories, I guess, in chronological order as best as you can, the experiences that you had, and then I'll just jump in if we have any questions, or if you want to ask me questions, or you want a side note or something. Okay, so feel free to take it.
Yeah. So picking up from that early age, touching back that we didn't see anything, but the the passing of our dad, I paused because I don't really like talking about our dad. Um, I don't really like remembering things about our dad too much. I have a scattered small little bits I could hold on to, but after his passing, the noise started happening, and the pots and pans. Pretty sure you remember the
How
kitchen was.
old are you when my dad passed?
He passed 3 weeks after my fifth birthday.
So you were 5.
Yes.
So that's about the time then that you started saying that you were okay, so the feelings that you started to experience, like your body was giving you the heads up, like, yo, something's amiss in this area. Was that before dad died or after?
Even before,
Okay, so
even
it
before
was
death.
already giving you a heads up beforehand. Okay, so go back. So you were hearing the pots and pans, which the pots and pans are Pablo from our experience, and he likes to throw the bread around and stuff in the kitchen.
Yes. Yeah, pots and pans, door.
Yeah.
And I try to run through most of the stuff that scared me even now as an adult, but I'll try to taper it and be a little bit more descriptive so it doesn't sound like I'm just kind of breezing through it. When I say pots and pans, you don't just kind of hear clean clean. It was very predominant, bah, or boom boom. You're like, whoa, what the heck was that? Um, the way I received information from my siblings, obviously you, my brother, my sister, even mom, was, nah, relax, it's fine. I received information. I don't want to say I was taught the way at a young age I was receiving and trying to translate that information to me to handle it was, it's fine. Even though literally it would scare the crap out of me, and I would try to just suppress it. And so even at an early age, you could see I trained myself to try to suppress a lot of that fear and a lot of what scared me. I just tried to say, it's fine.
That's because that's what we were
And
taught. Because whenever we would tell my mom, it would be like, yeah, it'd be like, okay, whatever, or no, you're imagining it, or no, it's nothing. So it's kind of like we were trained to just disregard things. But it wasn't until recently that I learned as an adult that my mom was experiencing those things too, and she was aware of these things, but just didn't tell us. I guess because maybe she didn't want to scare us or anything. But yeah, she would tell us like, oh, completely disregard it, or it's nothing, or I get what you're saying. That's she did it with all of us.
Right. And again, with I'm not sure if the viewers understand that with me being the baby, the age gap that I had to learn how to catch up to. My sister is older than me. I have an older sister, and then my brother. My brother, who I'm the closest in age to, is 7 years
Mm-hmm.
difference from me. So with me being my age and them being so more mature and more mentally able to kind of grasp on how to handle that, I myself had to push myself forward to kind of catch up to the train and say, we can do this. It's okay. It's scary, but just move it out of focus and keep living. At that age, which would be going into right around 6 to 8, it was still very hard for me to comprehend how to do that. But I guess in a way it was kind of training. How I can cope with it now. Um, with that, moving from the noises, the doors would slam. Uh, Sometimes I would think that it was funny that I just listened to our brother's podcast and he was getting man, he brought up a lot of good memories, a lot of strong happy times in my childhood, glimpses that I could very seldomly remember by myself. When I hear the door close for a brief second, I'm like, Dad's home. And then at that very second, it would stop and like, that's not Dad. And then that moment right there, it would come back like, oh shoot,
Mm.
what was that? So I guess what heightened the sense of like terror, because now it's not moving, it's moving forward now to not just a funny feeling. Now I can understand what terror is and fear. Now at that split second, I could vividly recall that
See, and here's the
I'm
thing.
terrified.
You so far you've described, just the overall sensation and, hearing the door and the pots and pans and the dishes, and you're using words like horror and terror. And I know viewers are probably thinking that's, you want to experience terror. I'll tell you about terror. So you haven't yet connected the events that lead to the usage of the word terror. So just be patient because we are going there. You're going to get to the definition of the word terror in terms of his experiences. So yes, so let's move on. So after that point, it was after Dad died, so you were about 5-ish, moving into 6-ish, and you started hearing, the pots and pans, and the doors. And keep in mind that when we hear doors slam in our house, it's usually the back door. It's not actually doing it because we've stood there and we went to check it out to see what's up, and the door is literally locked. My mom just had an experience, which I'll get to later, but we just did it recently, had to go through that experience, and nothing was happening with the door. But anyway, so after you experiencing the door and the sounds in the kitchen, what was happening after that?
The transition of my life was, trying to really overcome the loss of our father, and really having my mom do both roles for all of us. Not just the baby, the family. School was pretty decent. I wasn't really engaged too much in school. Um, Dragon Ball Z was actually a really, really huge savior to me. I found that out. Now we're jumping to the age of about 11. Yeah, right around 11 or 12. I started really learning about, cartoons and things like that. Not just your regular cartoons, but things that I found myself that I really got engaged with. So when I say that, it brings a really happy, tranquil time that I went with nothing happening. Zero. The noises almost died down. Um, I wasn't went sprinting to the bathroom as much. Um, I believe I was sharing. Oh my gosh, it's hard to piece together. I believe I was sharing a room with my brother at the time. We got bunk beds, um, and I slept on the top bunk. So 11 or 12, it started coming back. So we have 6 to 11 that was pretty calm, nothing really going on. Just your standard noise every now and then, which I was able to deal with and move forward to that. About 11 or 12, it started really progressing. The the whispering really started happening a lot. When I say whispering, so it still happens today. My wife actually has to wake me up and shake me because I'll get pretty loud and with really colorful vocabulary. Um, it's not in my ear. I could hear it in a room, and it sounds like there's just a lot of whispering. Just I can't make it out, but I can hear it.
It's like
Just
it's like.
softly,
Is it like that?
and it's scotch louder. You could hear. I can't hear movement. I can't hear the swishing of material, but I can hear vividly that there's a conversation ensuing, and it's annoying as it's just annoying. Like, and I would to this day I would wake up, hey, what the hell, or shut up, just very mad because I can't hear it. But it's disturbing me. It's waking me up. So that happened right around 11 or 12.
And
At
you
that
were
time, I
having
wasn't
okay,
waking
so
up.
what rooms were you experiencing this in?
Okay, so if going back to the route plan of my mom's house, when you go to the front door, and I say you see the hallway. Once you enter the hallway, if you were to turn right, would be your room, our old room that me and my brother shared. Um, he wasn't. He was just to me at that age. I know my brother has a better recollection, obviously, of his life and the things that he was dealing with. To me, he was just a normal big brother. Somebody that I still to this day really love and admire and look up to. There was nothing weird that my brother would try. He wouldn't play with tricks on me. He wouldn't um, do anything, vengeful or spiteful. Nothing like that. He
Well,
just
at this
you're
point, did he
constant big
know
brother.
that you were having these experiences, though? Had you told anyone about them at this point?
No. With that being said, I learned from a very young age not to speak about it. I learned very quickly, don't say anything. I
Hmm.
repressed a lot of it at a young age, but because I was able to sit in the background at barbecues and family gatherings and take in on this side of the fence a lot of other people's experience in the same house, I knew that they're not really going to think that you're telling them what you see. They're just going to think that you're mimicking what the story that
Oh, I see
they're
what you're
saying.
saying. Yeah, I could get
So
that. He's just
I
saying that because he heard his sisters talk about it or something along those lines.
yeah. So I learned very quickly. Don't talk
Alexander
about it.
Wallace is on. Hi, Alex.
Hey, and to touch bases on that, if your relatives or your kids are saying that they see something, please take them extremely serious. Take the time, slow whatever you got going on down, and walk with them. Even if it consists of you sleeping in the room on the floor, staying up all night, going with whatever makes them safe.
I
Please,
agree. I agree.
because it affects them in a way that adults can't comprehend because of the innocence of a child. When they learn that something strikes fear in them, they can't really understand or comprehend it. But and with that being said, they can't vocalize it to you. They can just show you by physical emotion. Um, I was trying to do that with a lot of my siblings, but like I said, with me being on this side of the fence and listening to a lot of what was going on, like I said, not to repeat myself, just don't say anything, brush it off again, move it over. You're fine. Um, the whispers were there. Um, about 11 or 12, one night, my mother went to go spend some time with, I believe, her aunt, and I think it was about 11 to 15 years old, right around this age. There was the day that I met, which you guys know as Pablo. I don't believe I've met
Mm,
Pablo.
okay.
Love to meet
I, from what you have described, I do not think that you have met him
him. No, no, no,
because
not
the
at all. I would love to
experiences
meet him. He
are
sounds like a cool guy.
completely different.
Yeah, yeah. He's the person that I see. To give a very brief description, the incident that occurred was I was sitting on the couch. This couch was facing the hallway.
Which
The
is our love
TV was
seat, right? Which is the love seat.
yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay.
The style of mom's house has not really changed.
It's been
We spiced it
identical.
up.
There's a reason for that, though. That's just so you know.
I just thought my mom really didn't know how to decorate.
No, it's because
Look,
that's the only place that you don't get a glare to the TV, a bad glare to the TV. That's why.
oh, from the baby window.
Yes, that's why. And
Ah,
you get a little bit of one
ah,
from the dining room, but it's not that bad. So yeah.
holy crap! Makes sense now. So the left seat that I'm sitting on, just there by myself, nothing really going on, watching some movies. Well, I wasn't even watching scary movies. I believe I was watching an action movie because my brother got me really big into Jean-Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris, a lot of action and karate movies. I was really big, and so at this point in my time, I never was into horror movies like I am now. I was never into paranormal. I never did any research. I had a clean slate of anything that would scare the crap out of me for the fear of me being scared. Watching this movie, he turns, and I say he because the description I'm gonna give you is clearly a dude or a really, really good powerlifting lady. The person turns the corner, more rounds the corner because he doesn't go forward, turn. His shoulder almost rounds off to the wall that splits my mom's room and the living room.
Hmm.
He rounds off, and I see it just like I just did that right now. I'm watching TV and I go, oh, and the the feeling inside my entire body just locked up. I couldn't do nothing. Whether it was because this person gave me that effect or that's just my natural body response of saying, we're scared. Huge, huge man, very squared off shoulders, a very nice hat, a trench coat, and I say trench coat because blazer would stop at the waistline. It was slim fit to the person's body form. I couldn't see him beyond the coat, but I could see from here up, right about the brim of his hat. And when he rounded the corner, his eyes were a reddish orange, and the smile that he gave me was it was like he knew that he controlled the entire situation, and just by his presence, he knew I would crap myself. He took 2 steps forward. And I know that. I know I just gave you a description that I couldn't see his lower half, but our house is really, really good with noises as far as when you step. So you can
Hmm.
hear creaking. Creaking, you can almost count people's steps. And we used to have an old wall heater. It was ginormous, just stretched, up to the ceiling. And right around that area, you could hear the and he went creak, creak, and his body went from an elevated almost to a leaning forward position. And he looked at me. I just still looking. It felt like hours, the whole situation, but it was seconds. It was just seconds. He leaned in and again whispered something. I cannot make out what it is. And he just backed up, did an about face, and walked back into my mom's room. And this time, there was nobody around. There's no adults. I'm here by myself. Uh, it left me shaking. I felt really nauseated. I clammy, sweaty. My mother came home, I believe. Oh God,
You were home by
man.
yourself?
Yes, yes,
Oh
yeah,
Lord.
yeah. Um, I had to figure out how to just try to do this again, but it wasn't working this time. Um, I think now that I understand at that point, I've learned how to feed off of a lot of confidence from the adults around me. So I would surround myself with, energy, feed off their confidence, feed off of their positive energy, their bravery, and especially my brother at the time. To me, he was still is. He's very brave, very nothing really scares him per se. So that's something I try to immediately channel at that time. Say, you're fine, you're fine. But
Marcos, real quick, are you able to lift your camera a little bit because it's cutting off your head?
oh yeah, give me
Yeah,
a second here. Better.
hold on. There's a delay, so I have to check in a second. Let's see. I think it's better, but I have to see what it's going to look like over here. No, higher, because it cuts off. Well, wait, you're just about to lift it on the thing. Yes, that works perfect. That was perfect. The way you had it the first time, that's perfect. We see all of your dome.
Better.
Yes, we are good. Okay.
Okay.
So, as you were saying, so you're sitting there scared, and the only thing that you can think of to do was to think of like your superhero brother, how he doesn't seem to be fazed by anyone, which by the way, we are referring to his older brother, but the other little brother. I have two little brothers. It's Fertino and Marco. So we're talking about Fertino, which is he is here on the chat. So Fertino, say hello. So where you're referencing your older brothers, your superhero older brother that you see doesn't seem to be fazed by anything. So you're going to be like, well, let me just be like him and bring it, channel his, channel my older brother so that I too can be brave and not be scared. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly. It's
Okay.
spot on. You didn't miss the beat on that. It didn't work.
Marcos, now your mouth's
It
cut
didn't
off.
work. Oh, okay.
Just go down
I
just a
got that.
smidge.
Better one, better two.
Let me find better too. Hold on. And see, I can't tell because it's a delay on the thing, so I have to wait. I think that's good right there. Oh,
Okay.
wait. You're going to move it again. Hold on. Yeah, that's better. You're good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The it didn't work at all. I just left terrified. When mother got home, I immediately ran to her, quivering, shaking. I don't think my mom will remember. I hope she does. I hope she can recall that when I started talking to her, she broke down in tears. She
So
did
you
not like
told her
sob
about it?
immediately. Oh, I could. As soon as I saw the light hit the driveway, I was just immediately relieved. Like the fear was just subsiding instantly because I knew I had an adult there. I knew I could run to my mom.
Yeah.
Um, my mom came home and she saw my reaction. She saw that I was not absolutely 100% not making this up, not for attention, and she got teary eyed because I think at that moment she knew, ah, this kid sees it too, doesn't he? But
Mm.
it's not Pablo, who I described. I believe that she knew that's not the dude who y'all see. That I don't know who the hell you saw. That's not the dude. And from there, it just kept getting, progressively worse. The noises started becoming more and more frequent. Um, there was a time
Did
that
she say
there's
anything to
actually
you, or she just, aside from welling up, did she have a response for you at all?
absolutely, yeah, no, she did whatever loving, caring, great mom would do. She tried to first calm me down, comfort me, immediately show me comfort, love, and then she started trying to talk to me. But at a certain point, I don't think mom wanted to let me feed into it,
Mm-hmm.
so she did this again. It was, hey, okay, you're fine. I'm here. We talked about it, but it stopped. and it worked for that night. But then it started getting progressively, more and more or frequent. The after that, the next, and again, when I say the next or after that, would be, the noises, and that would continue. I would see that same figure leave corners or leave rooms, and it. I knew it. Obviously, the dude, or maybe Pablo,
It
but
wasn't, see, it's not Pablo, because what you're describing is not what Pablo does or is or anything along those lines. But so I used to have a picture of the drawings that you remember from the video we saw on Prime about the Shadow Man.
yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
I saved the picture on my phone, but I can't find it. I'm not gonna go back and look for it. But what is the name of that documentary that you said it was?
It's called The Hat Man. You could find it on Amazon Prime.
The Hat
Published
Man
or made in
on
2008.
Amazon Prime. So I'm going to get the link so that I can post it in there, because that is an excellent depiction of what you're describing that you saw, correct?
Yeah, and mind you, the reason why I refer to this video so much is because I called you that day, just flicking through, Amazon Prime, and when I saw it, that same feeling I felt that night hit me when I saw that documentary. In fact, truth be told, it took me 2 days to try to finish it because the first day I couldn't. I had to stop it. I had to go out and go fishing, something just to wash that eerie feeling, that sense of terror that as an adult I could feel. It took me 2 days. The second day I really got into it, and there's a drawing in one of in the video. It's depictions of how people see the shadow person. It's right around the third or fourth drawing that you see this man. It's a fedora style hat, broad shoulders, a coat, very slender. That person in the documentary, there's another incident to where a mom went into her room with the baby and she saw this person, but this person was a lot more vivid. Um, I don't know if I saw what she saw. What I saw scared the living shit out of me.
That's how she
The,
described it. And I did post the link to the video. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it. But I posted it so that you guys can see what we're talking about, what my brother's referencing. Okay. So you would say that the moment that you saw this shadow man peek around the corner and grin at you and say
no,
whatever it is that you really couldn't quite make out, that was literally the beginning of when all hell broke loose, correct?
yeah, it wasn't a peek. So here's a corner. I would be here. This would be my mom's room. He didn't just kind of peek around the corner. He rounded the corner, almost hugging it with his shoulder. And as soon as he did about that to where I'd be here looking at him, that's when the whole thing ensued. It's almost like he knew.
So that was the beginning of it. That was the, oh, can you guys, oh, my gardener's here, so you guys might be able to hear the lawnmower. But so that was literally the beginning of to all the, obviously the rest of what you're going to share with us and how it sounds. Damn, it's loud. Can you guys hear it? It's loud.
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
How
after
things
that, things
just
started.
progressed pretty bad.
Yeah, things started really ramping up again. Dragon Ball Z
No,
was
I wouldn't say
really.
ramping up again, because what you're about to get into is completely different than anything that you've experienced or anything that you have shared thus far. So I'm not going to say again. The word again should not even really exist. Let's move forward to after that. So as you were saying, go ahead. Oh, wait, the lawnmower's going to come by again. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's like he knows we're talking about him. Okay, go ahead.
So at this time, my brother has, started his own life and his own family with, my sister-in-law. Love her to death. He's
Shout
gone
out to
and started
Teresa.
doing. Yes, yes. Shout out to Teresa. He started his own life, and now from your old room, which again down the hallway, this would be our shared room, I transitioned over to this room. This room,
Wait,
it
hold on, time out. Traveling flag. Hold on. Did you or mom say anything to Fertino about this? Fertino, were you aware of this experience that was taking place? And there's going to be a little bit of
no,
the delay in the chat, but what you didn't?
I don't think my mom shared anything. Again, to this day, I do a really, really, really good job of not speaking about it, not showing emotions to it, not feeding into it. I do an extremely great job of trying to bury this, uh, or just purely block it out of my memory for what it makes me feel, how it makes me behave. It's pretty scary. Most kids say, "Well, I'm afraid of the dark," or "I'm afraid of things." If I talk about it too much, I can't go in my mom's house. I
Really?
can't step foot in it.
Wait a
I
minute. Wait a
cannot.
minute. So after this thing, are you not going to be able to come over for a little while until you process it or until you build your suppression back up? Or if is that what's the lawnmower? Is that what we're saying right
Yeah.
now? Okay.
No. As I get older, I try more and more to put my best foot forward in the matter. Try to just, okay, be brave. You're a dad, you're a husband. This stuff is just hocus pocus. It's up here. It's not. You can't see it here. It's not real. It's not real.
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry, they're gonna keep doing it back and forth, so I have to periodically stop you.
That's fine.
Wait, my bad.
But referencing to the 4th of July, I was able to actually speak about it. Normally, I would, just dismiss myself from the conversation, go have a cigarette, or just go check something, in one of my vehicles, just to try to remove myself out of that situation. But in the 4th of July, I had enough courage to kind of talk about it and kind of start really diving into it.
I
Um,
noticed because
that
you seldomly do so.
I don't. I try not to at all. Period. I just try not to. So it's not that I'm going to be absent from my mom's house. It's just that whatever those times that I feel that way, or when those things happen, I can't go to my mom's house because it gets worse. It gets very, very aggressive. It gets very worse. I carry it over to where I live. My wife sees it. You'll find that out later on. My kids will see it. Um, they haven't saw the figure that I saw, but they see things move. They see things out of place, and uh, I know how to comprehend what's going on. And now that it's affecting my children, affects my wife, I feel helpless. I feel powerless because how can I teach them how to deal with it?
I can
Me
help you guys
myself.
with that. Also, Ferdinand said he didn't hear of any of the hauntings of your haunting experiences, so he didn't know any of this was happening.
No, and again, like I said, reiterate, I did not talk about it. I still really don't much talk about it. I do a very, very damn good job of suppressing a lot of it. So a lot of that you guys don't really know, and are really, introduced to that from me because I don't want to sound foolish at a young age. Like I said, I played a lot of catch up, so I just I felt if I were to speak about it, I would just be mimicking adults.
Okay, so moving forward from that, what was happening next? Because what it was the last thing you said? The when my mom got home, or what else did you say after that?
So after that situation ended, transitioned from our room. My brother started his life. I moved over to my own room. I decorated it, had it all furnished. Thanks, mom. Dragon Ball Z. Uh, my sister even got me very rare comic books, uh, Japanese editions. I just went Dragon Ball crazy. And I think I dove so much into that because it was something that could suppress the
Mm.
scariness. I don't I don't watch Dragon Ball Z at all much anymore. My best friends, Derek, shout out to Derek, shout out to Matt. They're big Dragon Ball Z fans. I don't even really catch much episodes to it.
Look, say hi again, mom. Now we're live. Mom's back. Mommy's back. Say hi. You have to lean over
That's
and
our
say hi.
mom. Hi, mom. Hi, mama.
He's talking. It's a delay. So you
So
don't watch Dragon Ball Z anymore because it reminds you of everything that was
well,
happening back then. Come on.
no, quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. I just don't have an
You don't what?
I don't have an interest in it anymore
Oh.
because it didn't have guide me in the same way it used to when I was a child. Going into my room, so moving from this room over to my own room, having my own bed and things like that. I everything was still doing the same old thing, and I went to sleep.
What was the same old thing? What are you talking about? What is that?
Noises, footsteps.
So that didn't stop. That was just running concurrently with all these
Back.
new experiences that was happening with the Hat Man, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I say peering into my room, the door would stay open. I don't know if it's because my mom didn't like closed doors or
We weren't allowed to
myself
close
I
our
didn't
bedroom doors until
close.
we got older.
Yeah.
And that's primarily
So
your brother's fault because he was a freaking pyromaniac is what he was. He would set the carpet on fire and build little piles of trash in the living room and in his bedroom and set it on fire and shit. That was his fault.
our brother had the concept of a Boy Scout, just the wrong setting.
Right.
So my door would stay open. This would be my headboard. The fish tank behind me, and my bed would the foot of my bed would be where the door would be where I exited into the room. When I say peering out or peering in, excuse me, the
Are you there? Uh-oh, did we lose you?
problem with the network.
Oh. So last thing we heard was peering in and then that was all I heard. Buenas tardes.
But like if this was a
Hold on a
door,
second,
we would
because
kind of just
again, when I said again, all we heard was peering in. No. Go
yes,
back to again. We were peering in. We can hear you see you on the computer like this.
yeah.
That's funny. I freaking love your face. You guys are funny. Okay, so you guys want to see my new shirt I got in the Calles? I went to the Calles yesterday. Look, I got a new shirt. See? It's pretty rad. And then I have another one that says La Rosa from the Loteria card. That was our side note. So let's go back to peering in.
So, yeah,
Yes.
and that goes back to what I was saying as far as everything was still just doing what I can comprehend as normal to me at that time. The guy would kind of do like from right around this baseline, he would kind of do this, and he would just kind of go out. And this would happen frequently, once or twice a week.
Now, could you
Him.
at that point were you able to get the feeling like he's here, or I'm going to experience it tonight. I know I'm going to have a feeling. Like, did you start to get the feelings? Could you, as like a presentimiento? What is the presentimiento? What is that in English? Mommy, no, you're not my mom. Can I help you? Okay. Oh, yeah. We're live? Yes, I know. There was a. Yes. Yeah. Same. Hey. There's conversation. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry about that. Okay. Not a presumption. I think it's a presentimiento is not a presumption. It's tuve un presentimiento. I had this feeling. I had this I want to say a premonition, but I guess so. I guess a premonition to a certain extent. But anyway, were you able to feel him when he was about to come in? Sorry for the thing. I still have to be a mom and a daughter and a co-parent all at the same time, guys. So sorry about that. Yeah, I would see Ferdino. It's like I'm stuck between, because Ferdino is saying a presumption, and I'm stuck between a presumption and like a premonition, because And it's like kind of like an in-between mark. But anyway, so but I digress. Were you able to feel it? Were you weren't able to sense it or anything? What was that for you?
No, I had no
So he would just drop
premonition.
in on you, just surprise your ass, just peekaboo,
Yeah,
just like
and I
that.
think I know. Not I don't want to say the word. I think I know that's what made the incident go up. Just boom, because I know it was gonna happen sooner or later. But when it happened, that moment in time, I'm like, oh, he's here. No, it didn't happen like that. I would just be like, oh, but let's just wait for this crap to unfold.
Yikes.
It just later, and then it would be, here's a door line, and there'd be my door in that little space. You could just kind of see and then, and with me, I have a really bad habit of sleeping on my side. So when I would sleep on my side, I would look down the door and I would see him.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
And at that moment, like it would just stop my breathing. Like I'm like
Excuse me.
for a quick second, and I'm like, oh, okay. So
So
the reason why we
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
The reason why we jumped to this portion is because uh, it went about a good like 2 or 3 weeks, if I recall, that I didn't, he didn't pop in and wish me good night.
I'm sure he popped in to tell you that, don't worry, sweetie, I'll be joining you soon in just a moment.
Yeah, he didn't. He did. It went kind of desolate. So the the lady that uh,
Okay, wait,
uh
we're going, is this the lady time where she comes in?
yeah.
Okay, so now let's catch everybody up. So here we are talking with Marcos Romero, and you're going to see my hair start getting puffy, just so you know, because technical difficulties kept me from combing my hair. But anyway, so here we are here with my little brother, Marcos Romero. He is sharing with us about his paranormal experiences that he has had. No, I can't make it bigger. I was not. I tried to for Dano, but I couldn't, and I really wasn't worried too much about me because he's the person that he's the guest, so I didn't really try too much to try to make my square bigger. But yeah, I saw that it was super small. So anyway,
Law
currently we are,
with
at about 5 years old, before our dad passed, he was starting to get the sense that something was amiss in the house. Like in the hallway area, he could feel something, not necessarily specific, but just his feeling overall. His body was starting to let him know that, hey, there's some shit happening. Okay. After that, our dad passed 2 weeks after he turned 5 years old. And then he started to other things started to occur. He was hearing the pots and pans in the kitchen very loudly, not just like banging, but actual, I guess, moving about of the pots and pans and such, the door slamming, which kind of, we were fresh from my dad's passing. So for him, it was like just a memory, like, oh, my dad's home. But he knew, in fact, that was not the case. So there was actual paranormal shit happening. After that, he said there was a little bit of that was just going on, just for a little while. And then he said about between 6 and 11 years old, everything was pretty calm. Everything was pretty, a little bit of a lull, so to speak. And then that's when he had the next experiences, which he was home alone watching TV. And from the couch to the direct view to the hallway, he saw the Hat Man. And I know a lot of you have a lot of experiences with that. And I would like to hear all of your guys' experiences, because I definitely want to read the stories and share them for everybody, because I wasn't aware that so many people were having this experience. But let's get back to that. So it was this night that he was alone watching TV that the shadow man came, pulled his I guess, looked around the corner from the hallway, which is my mom's bedroom, to the living room. And you said you were able to see his hat, you were able to see his trench coat, correct? And you said his shoulder pretty
yeah.
much just rounded out the whole corner, right? So you were able to see like a portion of him, like we're talking right here, correct?
The fedora, what it to me looked like the fedora to about sternum.
Okay,
You
so
could
we're
kind
talking
of
about right here.
make it up, yeah. And then sternum down, you can just see a silhouette of what it he or it is. No feet, no pants, no belt, no nothing. This is all assuming that he dresses to class.
He could not even
But
had pants on.
from
We don't even
sternum,
really know. He could have just been commando.
I
We have no idea what was happening at the bottom, right?
I hope, because then we're gonna have a different interview.
Oh, gross. Okay, so This at that experience, he gives you the creepy smile. You said his eyes were reddish orange, correct? And we're talking about a completely blacked out face, right?
No,
Oh, ooh, do
this
tell. You didn't say that part. Go ahead.
so the fedora would sit right around here, and it wasn't super elongated or stretched out. It was a good 3 inches away from his brow, but you couldn't see when he stood straight up. But like I said before, when he kind of gave that little lean, the fedora kind of went like that, and you can see the eyes.
Okay. So at that point, he gives you the big creepy smile, correct? And then he says something to you, but you can't quite make it out, right?
That, and to this day, I could still hear the goddamn whispering. It's low enough to they're saying something, but it almost makes you go, "What? What the hell are you saying?"
Maybe he wanted you to respond to, maybe he wanted you to join, he was opening up the dialogue for you to participate so that he could be, I guess, be more intense or pull you in a little bit more. Maybe that was the missing factor for him, so to speak, because I do hear a lot of people when we watched the interview for the Hat Man that I posted the link here in the chat. It's on Amazon Prime because what my brother's talking about has a lot to do with people are talking about in that documentary. And I talked a lot about how when people spoke to him or the second that they acknowledged it or something, the dialogue commenced is when things intensify. So let's get back to that. So he said something, you couldn't quite make it out. And then from then it Mark Ferdino says you should have followed him. Followed him where? To
No,
like the abyss
man.
of the hallway?
Was I gonna go to the east wing of our house?
I know. Yeah, like where is he gonna go? But the sucky thing is he probably just came back into my mom's room, which we know that ghosts just kind of walk back and forth from the bathroom to my mom's bedroom. We don't know what's up in here, but
Yeah.
they just kind of hang out in here.
I don't know if it's the poultry that my mom sets out, but whatever it is, it's enticing.
Yeah. So at that point, you started to see him just randomly, consistently, correct? Like it was happening consistently, but you just didn't know when. You didn't know when it was going to happen, correct?
Yes, correct. And again, to touch on that point, I firmly believe if I had the knowledge that, or the training that you yourself have acquired and practiced, and the spiritual guidance, if I had just a little bit of that at that moment, I don't think it would have um, followed, so to say. Dang, I just talk about it, man, makes me sweat. I don't think it would have continued to this day. I think
Hold on,
at
time
that
out. Hold on. Let me just back it on up real quick. Just because I guess I'm on the spiritual path that I am, don't let that fool you. I still get scared shitless, and I don't necessarily resolve issues right then and there because if I'm scared, I'm scared. I'm not gonna be like Mark Fertino and be following him around the house. And Fertino said maybe he needed some help. Well, that's just too damn bad. I am not gonna do it. So don't let my spiritual path fool you because scared is still scared. I can't say that I would have been like Marcos. If I were you, I would have hopped up. No, Marcos, I would not have. I would have turned on every light in the fucking house and probably sat in the front yard waiting for my mama. I cannot tell you that I would have done something. Scared is just scared. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm a big old baby. I hate being scared, but because I hate being scared, I try my darndest to try to take myself out of being scared, but it's hard because scared is scared. Like, do you expect some shadow, dark, creepy man with the evil smile to be whispering shit to you while you're, anytime in general? No, you don't. You see what I'm saying?
exactly, yeah.
So
No,
scared is
I think
scared. Scared is scared. That's all I'm saying.
I think if I had just a little bit of that, knowledge and know-how, so to speak, I think that moment when he leaned in, had I not acknowledged and did what my mom always says, be brave, cuss them away, tell them you're not welcomed here. I don't think I hope it wouldn't have followed me to this day. But because I feel that I leaned in and was intrigued, I think now that was the start of it just following me.
I think it happened exactly like it should have happened. That's what I think. I think that the reason it happened was because you were a kid and because, you are susceptible to, being scared and, just like you said, it intrigued you, you piqued your curiosity. I think it was just a combination of things as well. Because I had my experiences too. They weren't like that, but mine, were different. But I can't say that anything would have been any different. Maybe it would have. I don't know. But
I
anyway,
hope.
so now
So
you start to see him consistently, but at random times, correct? So, and this
yeah.
is about what age? Are we still in the 11-ish range? What age are we at now?
So that moment in time was about 11-ish, moving forward, um, going into my own room, was moving into my teen or tween. It just distilled the noise, the pots and pans, the doors, the footsteps, the bathroom door closing, the whispering at night. Uh, all that was still on a pretty, just it would happen and then it would happen and then it wouldn't. It would still happen in that order. Um, right around 15 years old, which if what I'm describing to you, if you guys can understand between when I saw that person, if I can show you how much it scared the crap out of me when I saw that dude, the lady that I saw at the foot of my bed amplified that by 1,000.
Okay, so
Just
let's move forward. You talked about the pots and pans, the doors, the whisperings in the rooms, the shadow man. So we're hitting like 11-ish to 15-ish range. Now let's talk. Okay, now let me ask you. As you're telling us the experiences in chronological order, they're not just stopping, right? Everything's just building and running concurrently, right? So it's like adding more things to the ride, correct?
yeah,
Okay, so let's
yeah.
go.
Not progressively. It's significantly getting worse.
Okay,
It's
so then
it's
let's
bad.
talk about that. So what's next? We're talking like 11 to 15-ish. What's next?
So there was I didn't see kind of like the head thing in my room much. Uh,
What head thing?
I was the guy would peer into the room.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So I didn't I it went a little bit without it happening, and uh, with the sleep, I had the urge to pee. I rolled over. Again, I sleep on my side. I rolled over, and the most beautiful, prettiest woman. I not not in a sexual reference, just amazingly beautiful. It She just gave me the warmest, calmest feeling that washed over me. Was sitting at the edge of my bed, and she had her kind of shoulder angled towards me, and she was brushing her beautiful, beautiful long hair.
What color was her hair?
Beautiful black. It was black. Just solid, solid black. Beautiful. She took one swipe and she went like this. And when she did that, I know it's weird to do because I'm bald. So it's not accurate. But when she did this, it just flowed so beautiful. And then I didn't have the urge to use the restroom. I just was stuck.
Had you already peed on yourself?
No, that's coming.
Oh, okay.
um, I just, oh man, I like even now just talking about that specific second, seeing her
Fortino
just
said
makes
that it could have been La Llorona, and then I said that no, because you weren't crying, or I mean, she wasn't crying, and he said that she was so beautiful and brought you that feeling was because she wanted to calm you before she smothered you.
here's the smothering part.
Okay, let's move
So
forward. So you see the lady combing her. She's a beautiful woman combing her hair at the foot of your bed. You don't have to
yeah,
pee anymore. So then,
you, beautiful is an understatement. She just made you feel complete. Just I felt no sorrow. I felt no anger. I felt no fear until she turned. Um, when she got done on the second brush stroke,
when she went like this and waved her head, she turned to me. And when she turned to me, it wasn't a transition. It was instantaneously. She turned to me, and she wasn't the lady that I saw at the foot of my bed that I saw from here when she was brushing her head. Her eyes were just so blue, and her skin had this pink yellow, horrendous look to it. Um, she changed from full, um, you know, uh, tone. I guess you could see that she was just beautiful. This lady who faced me was frail. Her skin had like this yellowish hue or tint to it,
That's
and
reminding me of like old P.
it she looked like she was like rotten. You know, have you ever seen like a fruit how it's kind of discolored and has like the wrinkles to it?
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw her,
Ooh.
I pissed myself.
Fernando has a question. He says, "Do you think that the lady and the shadow man are partners, like business partners, or like booze?"
Well, I'll tell you what, if they're salesmen, they fucking sold me.
Oh, see, Fernando's
No,
asking, are they tag teaming to kill him? Well, I don't know, but they didn't win because he's good. We're hearing he's good.
I think that I started developing um, bravery against the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that was the point to where it said, okay, now we're gonna really step up to fear. This that shit was child's play.
So then this lady,
I
she turns a face and she's completely gross and with blue eyes and rotten yellow skin. And then what happens from there? Because she's still standing at the foot of your bed, correct?
sitting
Oh,
sitting
she's
on.
sitting. I thought she was standing
I
at the foot of your bed.
no no. And when I say sitting, she wasn't hovering. She wasn't lightly pressed. My bed
Had the
was sitting.
indentation of a person sitting.
It did no. It folded in her sitting. I just told you that I lost control of that urge to pee. Never made it to the restroom. Um, I couldn't scream. I couldn't yell. I couldn't do anything. I was literally locked in that moment. And she made sure to with everything in me to make sure that I reached the full level of fear in my body.
So then that's when you peed?
Yeah, when she turned and I saw who it was, just it. Yeah, there was. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, goddamn.
And she got up after she looked at me, and she gave this horrific. It wasn't a smile. It was a smirk, like a sarcastic smirk. And she walked into my closet.
What? Huh. That's interesting that you say that. So
So when
her goal was to come out, make you pee, and then she walks away.
I think it was for me to understand now that I can recollect on it. I think it was for me to understand this isn't going away.
Yikes.
If this is here to stay. What you see isn't in your imagination. It's not make believe. Um, we're here to stay.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So then did you tell my mom about that?
Oh God. I hopped out of bed as soon as she went wherever she went into the other realm. Got up and I was like, Mom! Holy shit, Mom! Ran in there, woke my mom. She's like, what the hell's going on? And I just broke it down to her as quick as I could to try to let her know that I was not lying. I promise her that I'm not making this up. Please listen to me. Please. It happens. just listen. I could remember saying, listen to me, please. I'm not lying to you. I saw her. I saw the lady. And I think after that time, my mom told me to go get a sword and make sure I left it in the right side of my room in the corner. She gave me scissors, and she
Mm-hmm.
told me to open it up. The scissors open up, however, like that. So she turned it to where it be across, and then she tied a ribbon and she put it in holy water. And then she said, leave it under your bed. Um,
Under your
that
bed or between your
stopped
mattresses?
under my bed because my bed was set on a frame
Mm-hmm.
box spring of the mattress. So I was sitting under my bed. Oh no, the holy water was under my bed. Sorry, excuse me. The holy water was under my bed, and then the scissors were in between my box spring and mattress. I don't know what she did. I think she put a picture, or she just gave me a bowl of holy water that was blessed, and then she told me to slide that under my bed, and then the scissors in between my mattress and box spring.
So my mom was
That
already seeking spiritual counsel to try to help, get rid of everything that was happening, correct?
Yeah, I think at that time my mom kind of put it together like, yeah, he's seen way too much. Like not even um, the grown-ups, her siblings saw as much as I saw.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
definitely a completely different experience.
yeah, she didn't. She kind of put it together like, okay, we need to really bring an outside source in and see what's going on.
Fortino has a question. He asked, is the shadow man and the lady still messing with him at his apartment or just at mom's house?
They followed me everywhere.
Oh, shit.
They followed me to Washington. We're going to dive into that, but a quick overview. My apartment caught on fire.
Yeah,
Um,
I remember that.
just we just moved in. They went through the whole thing. I walked through the lady who got
Don't
me
jump
it.
in. We're not there yet. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. So they follow him everywhere. All right. So you had this first experience with the lady. You're telling mom. You're hopped in her bed, cuddled up next to her. You're crying. You're screaming. Whatever. So you're telling mom, and then what happens after that? After she gives you, she's seeking out spiritual counsel and solutions to try to help you to try to get rid of this. And so after you did the stuff that she asked you to do, which was the sword and the holy water and the scissors and the ribbon. After that, how did things go?
She went to go speak to a lady. I'm gonna say she's a psychic. I could be very wrong on that.
My sister
That's
and
how my
mom were just talking about that today.
Yeah, she could. I think she's a psychic. I could be off on her title, but I believe she did tarot cards, and she let my mom know that they're not gonna stop messing with him. They do it because they know they can scare the living shit out of him. They know they can feed off of his fear. Um, they know that by him pushing it away, it doesn't get rid of it. It just postpones it.
Dude,
And
Fortino asked, wait, he hopped in mom's bed while he still had his pee pants on? Whoa.
yeah,
Oh, so yes,
yeah,
he did.
yes, yes. I have no shame in my game.
You know what? I'm not
Yeah.
even. I'm gonna second that. If I'm scared, I don't care what's happening. I don't care what's happening in the drawers. If I'm scared, I'm going to mom immediately.
Yes, yes. I was the yellow rider.
Gross. Well, from what I understand, this lady that they went to go talk to, they provided a tremendous amount of insight as to what was happening to you. Because when they were talking about it today, my mom was saying that the second that she sat down and even told her that she's here about her son, that she immediately said, "Oh yeah, he's in trouble. This shit's dangerous and it's gonna get worse." They just immediately started. She just went off. She just started talking about everything that you had experienced, and she said that mom said she didn't have to say anything. She just said she was something about she was here about her son, and she like, oh yeah, she's like, this is not good.
See, now it's crazy. I was never told any of that. When my mom, I guess, went to go to this person, she didn't relate to me what this person said.
Mom's never going to tell us if it's not in our best interest and it's going to scare us, or we don't need to know. She's not going to tell us. That's just how mom is. She's mom. She's not going to do that to us.
Yeah. So I guess like you were saying that she automatically knew like, oh yeah, he's not doing too good.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I want the viewer to understand that what I'm sharing from my own accord had such an impact that my mother took me seriously at that time and brought in an outside source, and she herself knew, holy shit. So that if that can just set in for a second, so you guys can understand the level of fear and the magnitude that it
Okay,
weighs.
real quick. Fortino says, wait, did this lady put more bad juju on him, or did she piss them off because mom seemed helpless? With the everything that she told mom to do, you say that it just kind of helped temporarily, or what did it do? Explain to us, what did it do? Oh, because she seeked help. Did she piss them off because mom seeked help? Did they get mad about it? So which was it? What was the response from when you did all these things that mom told you to do?
The steps that mom taught me to take to prevent it helped to lower the encounters visually, but the room that I stayed in was still very much alive, so to speak. I had um, a sliding closet door. I didn't have an old rickety door like you guys used to have that was made in like 1900s. Mine was a little bit more modern. It slid open and closed. And in that, they had a little magnet strip that would close it. So I would come about this close and it would lock, but the door
Right.
would just go.
It's like the accordion thing, doop, and it's the with the magnet clasps, right?
The exact door that's behind you. That's what I
Yeah,
had.
that one right here. That's what yeah, she had them in all rooms. Okay, so it helped. Maybe minimally alleviated the stuff that was happening.
It had an, it had an effect. It definitely had an effect. But um, when my wife at the time, she was just my girlfriend. She moved in.
Shout out to Amy, which is now his wife and the
Yeah,
mother of his babies.
all of them.
So a good
Paco, if
thing.
you're out there. Oops. No.
So at any point that all this, like my mom was seeking out this help for you, did anybody come in and bless the house or the room?
My mom, I believe, blessed the room. At this time, kind of to catch you up on my spiritual side of this whole ordeal, I stopped going to church. I stopped believing in Catholic faith. Um, I stopped praying for a while.
Had
Uh,
you stopped before this started happening, or did you stop because this happening and you saw that the spiritual stuff wasn't helping?
Truth be told, I stopped praying right around the time that I kept having nightmares of kissing my dad in his coffin.
You were kissing my dad in his pocket?
His coffin.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I was about 10 or 11 where I had really bad nightmares of feeling my dad's cold cheek on my lips,
so
and it was just a
what prompted you
reoccurring
to stop
nightmare
praying? What was it about those dreams, those reoccurring dreams that prompted you to like pretty much lose your faith, I guess?
because I would say the rosary and it wouldn't help. I knew I could recite after I got out of catechism, I was able to recite all my prayers, recite the rosary back and forth. I knew extensively of the prayers. You ask me now, you quiz me, I fail right now. I don't know jack shit about it much anymore,
So
but at
what
that time,
wasn't it helping? It wasn't helping the nightmares or just this reoccurring dream that you were having? What was it not helping?
exactly it. It was a reoccurring nightmare, and it wasn't helping. The praying wasn't helping. And at that time, I was like, okay, well, then I'm not gonna pray. It's not
Interesting.
helping. So again, so with that night terror reoccurring, I did what I always do, what I got good at. Forget about it. Do
Mm-hmm.
my best to let it happen. I know it's gonna scare me. I know it's gonna make me cry. Push it away. Just push it and push it as best
Push
as
it
I can.
real good. Sorry. Okay, so it helped a little bit, right? And then what was happening after that? So you didn't see the things anymore. You were still, I guess you can feel them and experiencing them, but you said the visual part kind of was just alleviated for a bit. So you didn't see, were you still seeing the shadow man, or you were just not seeing the lady anymore?
The lady came back one other time after that, but new thing started occurring. Smell. the time that I would go in the kitchen. Now, mind you, when I say at this time, my wife, which is my girlfriend at the time, moved in with me and my mother, and I would go get late night snacks. Big fan of PB&J, and when I go in the kitchen, I could smell the strong scent of cologne. Um,
Your niece does that right now in the kitchen and in
yeah,
the hallway.
yeah, and you can tell somebody was just there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I didn't even know that she,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's actually kind of really scary.
It doesn't
Uh,
scare her. She anything in the house now does not feel scary. Not to well, we'll get into that a little bit. Some of it does, but that part she says doesn't scare her. She just constantly is smelling cologne around her.
yeah, I would go in the kitchen, get a snack, and as soon as I would go through the dining room, go to the kitchen, literally like this much of a space. As soon as I would go right into the threshold, it would hit me, and I could smell it. I'm like, oh, that's not supposed to be here. There's no other man in the house, you know. I just, and I'm like, yeah, he's here, isn't he? He, as in, I'm thinking it's the same figure I've been seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So that started occurring. The scent of cologne. Uh, my wife started seeing things too. She started seeing the Korean doors, I believe. And then when we moved out,
She started seeing the doors.
I
What?
got
You didn't say anything. She started seeing the doors. What?
that door that's behind you. There's a magnet that
Right.
joins
But
those
you didn't say
two.
anything. She started what?
She started the door go just kind of just pop open. So,
Hmm.
and again, it's that closet to where whoever the hell that lady was just walked in years before. Then after that, we moved out of my mom's house. Everything was pretty quiet, and I thought, "Hey, I'm relieved. It's just at my mom's house. We're good." Got into first house that I was renting. We shared it with a couple of people, and it didn't go too well. They were starting to come back again. It, as in the scent, the footsteps, the rounding off, like seeing the coat kind of dart behind the corner. And again, I did what I usually do, just kind of nope,
So
nope,
as
I
this,
didn't see
so
it.
okay, so obviously it followed you, right? So how many times did you see the woman here? How many experiences did you have with her? How many times did y'all hook up?
I,
Where are you going? Do they hurt your eyes? No. Okay. Come give me this. Hold on, I gotta be a parent. They're saying hi. Well, they can hear you. All right, bye, baby. Mucho cuidado. Bye, babe. Okay. So, how many times did you guys hook up? There was the one time when you had first seen her. She's sitting on your bed. The first experience. So, how many times after that?
the one time I saw her vividly, that's about it. At my mom's house, and then once I moved, I thought, hey, that was just the one time thing. I didn't see her, but I started seeing the
Are you still there? Buenas tardes.
just be the corner of the screen. Once I would
Wait,
visually see it,
we lost you after you. I didn't hear anything else you said. We lost you for a second. The last.
so it wasn't like an erratic.
Well, Fertino
It
asked
wasn't like
why.
an erratic.
Fertino asked why wasn't he exorcised? My response to that is because you weren't possessed. An exorcism happens when you want to extract something from someone's soul, and you weren't possessed. So, oh, and well,
Yeah.
he
So
couldn't be taken to Doña Frutosa because she had passed already. She was no longer with us. Fertino.
Yeah.
And that is my tia's.
So being,
I think that's my Doña Frutosa is my tia Virginia's mommy. Oh, we're not supposed to use names, so cut that out. Well, we're not. So we're gonna. She is Doña Becky. No, not Becky. She's no. Anyway, let's not use any names at all. So yeah, she had passed already. So
yeah. And I kind of want you guys to really think about that. You know what my brother said, why wasn't he exercised? I want you guys to really stop and think, to really understand that for you to say out loud that one of your siblings is consistently seeing something that causes fear on a routine basis and dub him as possessed or haunted or whatever the case may be, it's just not something you say in everyday sentences. That's not something.
Actually, in the Mexican culture, it is. Actually, in our lineage, it is. actually, in our family, it is. Because
I
don't know if you guys noticed this, but for a short, I never talked about it. I don't like to talk about it like you. I just suppress it. It just doesn't exist. But for a short period of time, my family thought I was possessed also, because I went through this really awkward, creepy kind of stage where I would do stuff and say stuff, and I have memory of it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to think about it. My sister remembers it too, and she reminds me. She's like, I'm like, you see this? I'm not laughing. It's not funny to me because I don't want to think about it anymore. So we went through a period of that. So yeah, actually, that is a sentence that you hear every day, or that you would say, that is not
in my
unheard of.
in my generation, I didn't hear it.
Well,
And
because nobody was
was
sharing that stuff with us, and every time we would, like Ferdinand was mentioning before, when he was live, when we did hear it, it's because we were overhearing someone's conversation, or they were talking in Spanish, but we would pick up bits and pieces and put it together and be like, oh shit, we know what they're talking about,
yeah, exactly it. And
That's how it
when
would
you kind of hear
happen.
the conversation, yeah, exactly. So the grown-ups, I should rather correct myself. The grown-ups would have that trust in each other to say, "Hey, look at creepy boy over here." You know what I mean? But yeah, yeah, But us in my genre, catching the end of the '90s, going into the 2000s, I didn't hear that. That wasn't supposed to be spoke of. You were just a fucking weirdo. You were seeing demons. You were doing meth. You were not right because it was either drugs or you were just mentally ill. So with me knowing that, again, it gave me much further incentive to just push it and repress it. So going back to moving out, got my own place, I started seeing the
Oh,
tail end
I was
of,
gonna say,
Shack.
so it followed you, and you're hearing all your, the experiences are starting up again. Did anybody else? Was anybody in the house also experiencing these things and not saying anything? Like, were they hearing things? Were they catching glimpses of things? Was anybody else experiencing it, or just you again on your own?
Just me,
Yeah.
yet again. And again, with that being said, it's so hard to say, to talk to somebody, to talk to your own age group, because if they don't see it, you sound fucking
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Just there's no two ways about it.
Wait, did we lose
You
you?
sound like,
Oh no, you're back. You're back. Sorry, you're back. Go ahead.
yeah, you sound like you're losing your marbles. And again, that gave me even that much more incentive to repress it, to bury it, to not speak about it. Oftentimes, if you hear me joke or crack jokes, it's because that's my way of dealing with something that scares the living shit out of
It's
me,
a
or something
coping
that makes me
mechanism.
nervous.
We all do it. That's why we could tell, that's why we can all sit together and recollect all these scary experiences and then laugh about them. Talk about them in a I wouldn't say joyful, but just in a humorous manner. It's because that's how we do. That's how we cope with things.
The best times in my life so far were when we were all around our old dining room table, laughing, listening to Hispanic music,
Mm-hmm.
and joking with each other. Those were the times, very few times in my life, I felt safe. I felt complete. And that nothing was haunting me, nothing was following me, nothing scared me, that I could be myself.
Fortano said you lost your marbles every time you guys played. What a nerd.
But check it out. He has an outstanding thumb. Okay, that's just cheating. That dude has a bionic thumb.
He
Nobody
said
can keep up with
hashtag
him.
marble champ. He's a Fortano, you were a champ at the canicas. I would suck at
No,
canicas. I really thought I knew what I was playing. I just no. Just so you know, I do not know how to
don't
play the canicas at all.
don't play with my brother. He makes up bullshit ass rules. He makes his own. "Oh, you double tap, bro. You got to take 18 steps back." What the hell? No one can even flick a marble like that. So yeah, he's a cheater. Let that be known on record. He doesn't play fair.
So
He
you're
doesn't play
in
fair.
this apartment. You can't tell anybody about it because then people for reals won't be playing, but they definitely won't be paying rent. So I mean, what was happening? Because I know how. Go ahead, keep going.
I suppressed it. I buried it. I didn't talk about it. I just moved forward with my life. We ended up moving out of there. We moved with a friend for a time being. We stood in their room. I was working graveyards at Guimara for a bottling plant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you right. My bad.
Yeah, yeah. I was working at a bottling plant, a graveyard, and the interesting thing was now I started seeing the figure in the day again. So I would give me a quick second. Someone's at my door.
Sure, it's me. No, I'm just kidding. It's not me. So while he's gone answering the door, I hope everybody is enjoying their time here. I hope you guys are enjoying my brother talking about all his experiences. Remember to visit my website. I posted it in the comments, AnnaMRomero.com. That's Anna with 2 N's. There you will find my blog/journal. You can click book any readings with me, intuitive readings. You will see in the tab of upcoming events, and you will also be able to access my YouTube channel. You will also be able to read some testimonials from people that have worked with me in the past through whether it's self-empowerment sessions or vision board workshops or intuitive readings. There's a lot of conversation and I guess shared experiences. So please be sure to be sure that I'm gonna tell him when he gets back. Be sure to check that out, please. Let's see. As soon as he gets back, we're gonna
I'm back.
Okay, we're gonna keep talking. We're at an hour and a half, so we're gonna keep talking, and it's probably gonna come to an end soon. So just please stick with us, stick around to hear the rest of his experiences. Also, Ferdinand said it was the shadow man at your door. Don't answer it.
No, it was Walmart groceries.
Oh, and he said that's the classic horror murder. Don't ever answer your door.
I just died.
You're dumb. Okay, so you suppressed it. I was going to ask you. So you're at this bottling plant, and you said you started to see him in the daytime. Are you talking about in the daytime at your home, or in the daytime, like even at work or everywhere? Like if you just anywhere that you were going, anywhere.
Anywhere.
You would see him anywhere, like at work and stuff, everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, if he needed to help you work that, if he's going to be at that bottling plant, that was a bitch ass place to work. So he needed to help you.
He didn't do shit.
So he would just be like, so you would be working, you turn around and you just see him standing there, or you see him like behind something from afar, or how did you see him during the day or at work? What was that like?
No, it wasn't cliche at all. I would literally see the dude. He wasn't like, no, it was like, what's up? Like, yeah, when I see him, I'm like, oh shit, and then I would turn and just keep working.
Nice.
I wouldn't look back. I would just, hey, nope, just another stack because it's a Wednesday. I love what I do.
That's wild.
Yeah, I saw him at stores, saw him grocery shopping, and then we got out of there. We moved again. Didn't really see anything there. It was pretty quiet when we moved into our first rental house on the east side of Bakersfield. Things are decently quiet there. It was actually really happy.
No. You lived on the southwest side when you lived in Silver Creek.
Yes. Yeah, that was the home that I shared.
Oh, I didn't know that was a shared home.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
My bad. Okay, so then you guys went to the east side, right in the same complex as my sister, right? Around the corner, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We moved to the east side. It was a very happy time. At this point, after I moved out of that and did things in my life, I started truck driving. I worked with my wife's brother, and I stopped. I stopped seeing the dude. I stopped having those weird, scary feelings. Stopped moving. It was normal. It was like everything just disappeared. Then we moved to Washington, and my brother's watching this. So this is like a little bonus. So I'm at my brother's apartment. I had the privilege of sleeping on the couch and also destroying the couch.
You said you saw him. You saw him at my brother's apartment, or no? What did you say?
Yes, because my bed was my brother's couch in the living room. They even were very kind enough to give me my own little room, as far as like a little shelf that had ability to hang all my shirts and put my drawers in, and I had my cereal and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, hold on, we lost you again. Are you there? Okay, hold on.
There we go. I'm back.
Okay, we lost you after you had your own little space to put your things in. After that, we lost. So what was after that? Oh, well, Fortino says that
I
all that he said he's in the early stages of possession. Next is infestation. The entity is wearing him down to infest him. So this is his thoughts on it.
love the pep talk, brother. Thanks.
He's such an awesome cheerleader, huh?
Appreciate ya. So I,
So after you, okay,
I
so
would
you have your
see.
space to put your things, and then what's next?
I slept next to their screen door that would lead to the backside of their apartment.
Right.
So their porch would be on. I would see him uh, in just behind the light, just enough so I could see the silhouette again. I saw them in their dining room, which is pretty close to their kitchen.
Yeah.
I saw him at their door where they would kick their shoes off and place it in this nice little tray. Then I started seeing him in the parking lot. When I say
And
seeing him in the
you didn't
parking
tell
lot,
anyone?
no, because again, for the viewers to understand, me and my brother we're very different as far as how to mentally process things. I more of a logical, scientific thinker. I really try to process things the best I can, but I do it internally. My brother's more vocal, more outspoken. He wants to put things together collectively with the person that's occurring or as a group. And then if he can't find a conclusion, then you're just a weenie.
Yes, I concur. Yes. So okay, so you don't
Yeah.
talk about this,
So
and are you seeing him like all the time, or it's just like here and there?
here and there. My brother was very kind enough to get me a job with the company that he was with, and my job was to patrol buildings and to go do floor checks. The buildings that had to check were completely dark, if not one or two floodlights on, and I would see chairs turn or chairs kick back or elevator door close and open back up with nobody in there. I would hear noises and stairwells. And my brother told me, "Don't be scared. There's probably just some random junkie in there. You got to make sure you take him out of there." We race all the way down the hallway as far as I can and hope to catch this junkie. There was no junkie. There was nobody. You could hear somebody go running away from me as I'm running towards them. Then the incident that we were talking about earlier was I got off that job. I got onto another job. My apartment I just got for me and my family to bring them up from California to Washington. I did a walk through the house. We made sure that everything was clean, clear, checked out. Everything was immaculate. Laying in my living
Fortino
room.
said Seattle is haunted as fuck.
It is. It is. I didn't want to say that because I didn't want to kind of give that impression. Go ahead and put it right there, bud, right there on the floor. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Was that it? No, 3 more pieces of water. Alrighty, bud. Sorry, Walmart.
Hello? Buenas tardes. We lost you again. Are you there? Okay, so after Walmart,
yeah, I'm here.
After you said that's Walmart, what else? So yeah, so Seattle's haunted. All right. Oh, Alexander Wallace, our nephew, wants to know: have you seen him recently?
Yes.
You have?
Yes.
Oh Lord. Okay, so let's back up. So I wanted to say something to you. Okay, so Fortino said that is confirmed. Other guards would call me and tell me about hearing footsteps and people talking in a lot of our accounts. Yikes. And you guys had the pleasure of hanging out and chasing and looking for these junkies and these transients and whatnot, and they weren't even there.
Yeah, it wasn't a transient.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At all.
That's wild. Okay, so I wanted to say, okay, so you said that when you lived here in Bakersfield before you moved to Washington and you were the house near my sister's, you said things were fine, right? There was nothing to suppress, like everything just kind of stopped, correct?
Peaceful.
Okay, now, and then you said you went to Washington and things started to come up. Let me point something out. The reason you moved to Washington was because things all of a sudden you were hitting a really rough patch here, correct? with your life in general. There's a lot of things
Well,
happening that it was just rough. So that's why you moved to Washington, because you were trying to make change happen, correct?
yes,
Now, do
exactly
you
it.
think that that's why? So your vibration's completely lowered at this point. Like you're upset, you're sad, you're depressed, because, things are all messed up and, things are bad. So do you think that because you're so open again and susceptible and vulnerable, that that's why they jumped on your bandwagon again?
Now that I know that when I'm upset in my life, or when
Buenos Aires, are you gone again? Hold on, you're frozen. Hold on. Are you back?
yep,
Okay.
I'm back.
What I heard was when you're upsetting your life. Oh, Ferdinand said yes. I would call him from my office that was way far from those accounts and have him go check. That's a good brother.
Bruh, you serious?
That is what he was saying.
Man. So again, to show you that me giving you guys this information, there's always another person outside this to confirm that
Yes.
it was happening.
Yes. Okay. So,
Yeah.
oh, again, so you're saying when you're starting to feel down, what was in your life? What was happening?
Not down per se. I've always had a pretty long term.
We lost you again. Longerish what?
My
Wait, we
childhood
lost you
and my
again.
adulthood.
You said when you've had a longish what? God, Jesus, we're losing you. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Last thing I heard was what I have a longish something, and please do not talk about the size of your penis because that is not where this conversation is going. Because you just
Ew.
keep saying I have a longish, and then that's it.
No, I have a long term history with sadness. It started when I was a kid, and it progressed, throughout my adulthood. Uh, I've not really been able to shake it. I've not been able to kind of get through it.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know the connection of whatever I see or whatever follows me happens around the time where it gets really bad.
Okay, so you moved into this house. You guys did the walk through the new apartment in Washington still. You're doing the walk through. Everything, like you said, is immaculate. And then what?
Yeah. So Washington, my apartment caught on fire. I got my own place. I brought my family up. They moved here, and I absolutely hated my job as a truck driver. I worked nights. I worked my butt off. It was horrendous. It was grueling work. And again, I was starting to get a little down on myself, hoping I could find something a little bit better. It was my day off, sitting in the living room, and my vent caught on fire. It just not a couple sparks. It literally said came up, caught the wall on fire. I immediately dialed 911, told them to get the fire engines to my apartment number, to that address. Dropped the phone on the counter, got my family. My wife wasn't even fully dressed. I wrapped a blanket around her. I said, exit the house or the apartment immediately. We stood on the door. And the funny thing is that when I say caught on fire, as quick as it caught on fire, it dispersed.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. My wife called me a couple of times in Washington when I was because I worked nights. She said that because we had a family dog, she lived in a kennel where she was being kennel trained. She said that when she was in the room with the kids, she would hear the kennel go, bah, 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 bah. Stop.
So
And
somebody's over there shaking Aurora's kennel around?
No. Just the door. The door would slam.
Oh.
And it would happen. Yeah, they're just the door. The door would open and shut, open and shut. And again, to show you how true this is, our dog would stand by the door because Amy would bring everybody into the room, and the dog would stand at the door, pawing at the floor, growling and snarling at the door in
Yikes.
the living room because we kept the kennel in the living room,
Mm-hmm.
and she would not leave. She would go crazy at the door, and Amy would let the door open, and the dog was at a loss. She would look around and see, well, who the hell is in our apartment? I'm gonna eat them. Who's there? And there's nobody there.
Yikes. And that would happen often, you said.
Frequently,
I remember
frequently
that the
it would
girls
happen.
talked about, they were old enough to start noticing things too. How they were talking about, I don't know if it was like a milk container, a juice container, it just like unscrewed and came off and all kind of stuff when it was on the counter.
Yeah. So after we got done with that, we moved to the apartment now we are in now that I'm here. Love this place. He kept following us. Two instances before we wrap it up was that my wife saw my son's toy toolbox open and slowly close,
I
and it
didn't
was
know
by the
about
door.
that.
So,
And this is
yeah,
recently, obviously, right? Because he has his toolbox now.
yes. In fact, I just took it over to my mother's house
Yeah,
yesterday.
she was saying that.
That's his toolbox he worked at. Yeah. The biggest one, if you guys want to listen to a little bit more in detail, because my brother does a fantastic job of describing stuff on his podcast. Shout out to Graveyard Grumbler.
Yeah, shout out to
The
our brother Fernando Romero, his podcast, The Graveyard Grumbler. So we will be putting
fantastic
his,
podcast. Everybody
yes, go
do
check
it.
out his podcast, The Graveyard Grumbler. It is
You guys are
amazing.
hell podcast.
So wait a minute. So okay, now also some years ago, probably 2 years ago or so, before about 2 years ago, I asked if I can go in and do a cleansing on your house, correct?
Yes.
And while we were there, because it's a process, because the three of us together, my mom, me, and my daughter, we have a lot of spiritual abilities. Like I said, it's from our ancestors. It's part of our lineage. It's part of my current family history, my current family, existence. And the three of us together are stronger than just the one of us on our own. Not to say that one of us couldn't do it on our own. So we go in together, and we're getting the stuff ready in the processes. And you're asking, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I keep telling you, hold on, just wait. I'm almost done. And at the time I finished that sentence, we're all in the living room. The girls are fascinated. They're seeing what I'm doing, which I love how much they're intrigued with all the stuff that I share with them. So, we're all in the living room hanging out, everyone. And then in your room, we start hearing all kinds of noises. And I'm like, what was that? And you say to me, see, that's why I wanted to know if you were ready yet. Do you remember that?
It's exactly. I remember that very clearly, vividly. I didn't. That's the first time as an adult I let anybody in to see, not experience, not feel, but see
Mm-hmm.
what I've been seeing for.
Now, did you,
It's not
so as
something that
you were asking me, if I was ready, were you feeling something? Were you sensing something? Were you at already like seeing things? What was the reason that you were like adamant about us seeing if we were ready yet?
No, but I knew that you coming in was positive, and whatever is around here isn't positive. I'm not going to say negative
Oh, it's
because I've
negative. You
dealt
got
with
some
it
bad
so long.
shit. Yeah. Well, I went in.
But
Go ahead.
I knew when you walked in, it was gonna do it again like my childhood. It was gonna ramp it up. It was gonna take into overdrive.
Well, I went in and we did a cleansing, and everywhere I went, I could see things because I'm not a seer in terms of like seeing it in the physical realm like my mom and Aisha do. I see it like in my mind's eye, so to speak, like in my mind. So as I'm going through, I can see that there's the kids that are hanging out in your house that kind of run around. I can see whether they like to hang out like in the closet a little bit to the first bedroom as you walk it, and then to your broom closet that's in the hallway. And when they get scared from the huge like scary thing, since it can move things, it's called a poltergeist when it can physically manipulate things. That's called a poltergeist. So they're afraid of that poltergeist. So they go hide in your broom closet that's in the hallway. As soon as you walk through, that's where they hide because they show me that they're scared and they go in there. But then when I go into your room, it's almost like you're in the, like when they say like you're in the eye of the tornado, like there's shit all around you and chaos, but when you're in the eye, it's really calm and clear and kind of, that's what it feels like going into your room. I know that there's chaos happening around you, but when I walk into your room, I don't physically feel it, but I know it's happening around me. That's how it is. And I can tell you right now, when I go into your room and I stand into your room because your bathroom and your sink and your thing are right here and your counter right here, and then you have this square space like this. At the time when I went in, where you have your bed now is where you used to have the crib and your bed was over here. And you had the shelf that was right here, like kind of in between the crib and the bed. As I go in and I put like this protection stone above it, when I put it on there, they were already showing me that it was going to get knocked down into Marquitos's crib and there was going to be an issue. It was going to be a choking hazard for him. So I didn't put it there. So I moved it and I put it somewhere else because I was already being shown that shit's going to happen. So I didn't put it there.
Yeah.
I moved it. And then I could see that it's almost like they were standing kind of, I can't see what it is per se, but it's like I could feel what, like a blob of energy. They were like hang out against the mirror at the sink, like, go ahead. They can't come out towards me because I won't let them. They're not physically able to come near me, but I can feel them saying, well, go ahead, because when you leave, I'm going to mess it up anyway. So that's kind of what they kind of showed me. So for the moment, as we were there, it was okay. I mean, we were serving our purpose and we were keeping things at bay because they can't, and nothing can, we were too strong for them to come through is what it was, because the kids didn't come out to play, but I can sense them. But then, as we were going through cleansing, it felt as though we were kind of like how when you spray with a spray bottle, how the mist of water falls through and it kind of just eventually rests on the ground. Well, that's how like the cleansing was. Like we came in and we spray bottled it across and it did cleanse the house, but eventually it was gonna evaporate and hit the ground, and then the space was going to be open again and available. So that's kind of what the cleansing felt like. And what I learned, actually I got a second opinion, is that what I learned, they said I did everything right with the cleansing, because remember you said that they kind of got pissed off and things kind of got a little bit more aggressive again.
Yes.
What I learned was that I did not mentally prepare for it beforehand, meaning I didn't do like a pre-spiritual cleansing from afar, because they saw me coming. They saw us coming. They knew what we were coming for. And even though, like I said, they can't affect us, they knew that we were coming, and it was not happy. It was not happy with that at all. And so it very much showed you that. So what's going to happen is we're going to have to come in stronger, and it's going to have to be more consistent, and I'm going to have to do, there's more that I know that I need to do and I can't do. So I'm going to do it by myself, because I don't want my daughter to be, part of that. But I'm going to go back in. But yeah, I was shown that it saw me coming, and that in and of itself was already an issue.
Yeah, they called your bluff.
I showed up, and yeah, they did. And they're like, okay, well, this trick is here, and that sucks. So
yeah, they knew that for the time being they'll buy their time, and after, back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I say they, I say they because here comes that lady again. The time that I saw her the second time, I was getting up to use the restroom in my apartment, and I do a routine check of the house, or the apartment, excuse me. And when I came to the hallway, my couch is against the wall. So if I go through my hallway and I turn to my right, there's my couch. The lady again turned to me as I'm walking the hallway. She turned to me, standing near the couch with the back of her knees against the couch. Turns to me this way and gives me that same smirk. Again, I couldn't move. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything, and clearly see her walk from the couch to my door and go away.
I would tell you right now, she doesn't like me. So, having said that, I'm gonna have to go spend some more time there to to let her know how much I love her. So we're gonna do that.
Yeah, and now I got it narrowed down to the whispers and visual. My brother, I was saying, I give a shout out to my brother on the podcast as I sent one of my creepy stories in. I was getting dressed. My wife was laying on the bed. Her her neck was a little elevated by a pillow, and her ponytail was sitting like just like this, just about right here, and she had a chongo or a hairband right about here. She was talking about getting ready. Nothing creepy, just getting ready to go out for the day or getting ready to go to work. And when I turned by putting on my belt, I was talking. Her hair on the went up, down, and that moment I saw that I couldn't relay to her what I saw because I was afraid she wouldn't believe me.
Did she feel it?
She said she didn't feel shit.
Yikes.
Um, I on the podcast I described the feeling as going over a bump really fast and that feeling of weightlessness lifted up.
So you sent the story into Forteno?
For those 2 seconds, I couldn't do anything. It brought me back to my childhood when I first saw the lady, when I first saw the dude.
Yikes.
It felt like I lost. It felt like I lost everything that I've tried to work towards as far as pushing it away, not believing it. It kind of just it like unraveled, and I had no control.
So you said you sent the story into Forteno?
Yes, Graveyard Grumbler episode.
I didn't know
One
that.
of his earlier episodes.
Oh, maybe
Yes,
I need to
I
go read
did.
it. I mean, well, there's a lot that I haven't. I started from the beginning, but then I just kind of skipped so I can go to his current stuff. So I need to go back and finish the rest of the stuff in the middle that I missed. And I also haven't heard the day Superman died episode either because I was traveling yesterday, so I didn't get to listen to it. So yeah, I'm a little behind on that stuff. So I mean, okay, so this is all current, right? This is all within this last year, so to speak. All these occurrences are current. So to this day, what is it that you're seeing? Let's say in the last 2 weeks, what are you currently experiencing? Are you still seeing the Shadow Man?
Yes.
Are you still seeing the lady?
Very much so. No.
Okay.
And she
what?
She only happens every now and again. But when I do see her, I know something bad's gonna happen.
Oh, so it's almost again for you like like not like a premonition, but like yeah, kind of. I guess it kind of is to a certain extent. I think it's some level it is. That's weird.
Well, if you put
I
the
think our
connection
sister
together,
kind of has that experience. Well, no, that's not true because she doesn't see anything. But go ahead. What were you saying?
if you put the timeline together, the first time I saw her, our uncle passed away from cancer.
Oh.
The next time I saw her, there was a unfortunate incident with my wife and one of her pregnancies. So.
Wow, that's interesting. You should start like journaling that stuff and trying to see. Yeah, you should try to. That's interesting that you noticed that. All right, so then okay. And what about the whispers? Are you like again, like in the last 2 week range? Are you hearing the voices, the whispers still?
Oh, yeah. That never stops. You guys can easily, if one day we bring her on, you guys can easily ask her, and she'll attest that I'll wake up saying, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language. Shut the heck up, or
no, you can
come
in here. That's fine. See, so yeah, I know that she's mentioned a lot of those experiences that she has where she has to that you wake up like that and she kind of doesn't know what's happening. She does her best to try to help you, but you won't tell her what it is that's happening, so she's kind of stuck there like, I don't know what to do. Yeah, she's shared a lot of those experiences. Yeah, she has. She's shared quite a bit of those experiences with us. Maybe we'll bring you guys on next time as a couple so that you guys can share things about both what you and the girls experience.
Yeah.
Because I know they have shared some of those experiences also.
Yeah, when you bring the family into it collectively, when you hear multiple people see the same thing but from different perspectives,
it makes it that much more real. You're like,
Yeah,
oh
see,
shit.
that's another thing to consider because, like I said, I want to do this big old thing where, ouch, where I want, we have so much going on in our family that we didn't really even know that we were experiencing until we talked about it one day, and we're like, oh shit, what? So now I want to bring it all forward. That's what I want to do. So that's where we're at with the current, I guess, with the current status in terms of your experiences are. And I mean, how do you feel about it? Because I know that you were really apprehensive. You weren't apprehensive. You volunteered to be the next one to come on, but I know that you were afraid that talking about it, vocalizing it was going to open up the floodgates. And I know that's where you're at now with that, right?
So terrified.
I'll help you with
I
that.
think,
I don't want you to be, but my mom talked to you a little bit about, work. We can help you. We can try to work on it. We can try to figure it out. I can't say it's going to be effective because I've never done it. We've never tried it in terms of like a one-on-one basis. So we'll figure it out. We're going to find it. We're going to find some, we're going to figure something out because it's not going to win. It's not going to win. That's all I'm going to say. It's not going to win. So we're going to figure something
you
out and we're going to make that happen.
when you say that, it stands true to an old saying, and everybody's heard it. Ethnicity, culture. Everybody's heard the saying: "You could lead a horse to water, but you can never make him drink."
Yes. Yes. So that's what we're gonna figure it all out. We're gonna make it happen. So thank you so very
And,
much.
and again,
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
um, for anybody with that saying, if you and your family or somebody in your family is a little off, a little unsettled, sad, or is very recluse, take it serious. It can be very detrimental. Again, I'm always for science. I'm always for logic first and foremost. If there's something that the adult, preteen, tween, or child is experiencing or going through, please consult somebody with a proper degree, background, and knowledge and know-how. And if that fails, don't stop there.
Right.
Pursue.
I agree.
Don't stop. Go that extra mile because the feelings of an innocent do not lie. And I believe if I were to just speak about it at a young age, I would have maybe had a better idea on how to deal with this and stop it. But now I'm trying to do that as an adult with my own children, and now it has morphed into my family. So please, if you can take anything away from this session, um, always, always listen to your kids. Uh, always have positive energy flowing throughout your family at all times, even when things get rough and tough and scarce. Just make sure you guys have each other, and the kids and the adults know that each other can get them through a lot.
Yes, because the second you start to believe otherwise is the second you start leaving yourself more susceptible to not even like spiritual attacks, but just real life, life attacks. You start opening the floodgates to all this negativity that just even happens in our everyday lives. You know what I'm saying?
And again, for those kids and adults, even adults, don't be afraid to seek something that brings you happiness. I grabbed this saying that because this necklace, I'm not sure if you guys ever saw it. It's just a random bead necklace on a string. I snapped my leg in the oil fields and had to have two screws put my ankle back together. And that was a really dark time. And I started seeing the guy again. My daughter, she made this to me, or for me, excuse me. And I've had some pretty scary times in the oil fields where I saw the edge of cliffs, pipe coming at me. Um, and I believe that this necklace has gotten me through a lot. And to this day, I won't take it off.
Yep, I agree. And I think that because who made it and why they made it for you, which was from a place of love, is exactly why it served the purpose that it's serving. So, yes, I agree. So, it doesn't have to be a cross or a Bible, anything along those lines. It's the intent that matters. That's how I feel, at
It's what's
least.
behind
Yes. So thank you so very much for coming on and spending 2 hours with me. I appreciate it. Thank you for volunteering to share it because, like I said, I know how hard it is for you and I know how scary it is for you. And It takes a lot. So I thank you very much for being here. I love you so much, brother. And if ever you need me, you know that I'm here. You know that we are all here for you. And is there anything, I guess that's it. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us and chiming in and reading all this stuff and listening to all our nonsense, but above all, hearing the experiences that actually happen in our real lives. This is like real lives for us. This isn't, make believe or stories or anything. This is real for us. So there you have it. Thank you again for being here. So see you guys later. Bye.
You love everybody. You guys be good. Be safe. Bye.
All right. The stream has ended. Hold on. Let me end it on my